Oh, biscuits, man, and how do you do? How the heck are you? I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer tonight. I'm the Cocktail Whisperer. Hey, well, at the afternoon, I should say, it is Saturday afternoon as I do this video live. How the heck are you? I've got some Missouri Moonshine. It's 100 proof malt whiskey. It is 100 proof. I said that already. But what this does is a little bit different than other malt whiskeys with or unaged whiskeys or moonshines. Without reading the entire back end, is it also uses malted barley and rye. So there you go. Now this typically runs between 25 to 30 bucks in my neck of the woods. I found it at one store in Aurora, of all places. I'm in a small town in Missouri here. For $18.99. So that's why I bought it, man, to be honest with you. Yeah, and I will tell you, I just purchased this, and you say I'm past half. Tom, did you drink that much already? Well, I am on my second martini, but the answer is no. And I actually did. I went to a homebrew shop today, and I picked up 1 ounce of light toasted oak and 1 ounce of dark toasted oak. And then I took about half of the bottle and poured over that. So I'm going to kind of let that semi-homemade age for a little bit. I'm going to add some other stuff to it. Kind of like doing that with unaged whiskey, just kind of making my own little thing going on in here. Cocktails, yeah, you know what? There was a time in America when people weren't so tight-assed. When people would just have a cocktail in the afternoon. They get off work at 5, they come home and they'd have a cocktail. I'm not talking about madmen, upper middle class kind of. I'm talking about working class folks coming home, having a drink in the afternoons. I know my dad did. He didn't have that big madman kind of bar or drink anything fancy. He certainly wouldn't drink a dirty martini. But it seemed like the world was a whole lot happier, America was a whole lot happier when we did that sort of thing anyway. We took a whole lot less pharmaceuticals in anyways. I don't know if you can hear my music or not, so I'm cranking this station I found called Red Rock and Blues. And so I've listened to it a couple times, and I didn't like it, right? But I tuned over and I heard a song. I don't know. So, but yesterday I decided I was going to commit to it for an hour or two. They played the first song they played was a song I didn't like. I'm not a big country fan, I'll be honest with you. Unless it's classic country, unless we're talking about Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, that sort of thing, I'm just not a fan. I think new country sucks my wanker, man. I think it's horrible. But anyways, but this station, when I committed to it, it's, oh, I see what they're doing. Anyways, I heard some Warren Zevon, I heard some country, I also heard some classic country, I heard some Warren Zevon, I heard some John Hyatt, Bonnie Raitt, I heard some John Mooney. John, if you don't know, if I just said John Mooney and you scratched your head, click John Mooney on YouTube and find him, man. The man's brilliant. Oh. But yeah, you know what? I do remember, though, my dad didn't drink a martini, but he knew how to make them. My dad was one of these just, I don't know, Renaissance man is probably the wrong word to use, but he did know how to do a lot of things, man. And though he only drank bourbon or Tennessee whiskey, he did keep other liquors around. But there was a couple friends of Dad's, and Bill would drink bourbon with Dad, but his wife, and whose name eludes me at this particular moment, would drink a martini, and Dad make a martini. But she had a classic gin martini, of course. So I was a big baseball geek back in the day. Even though I was a hardcore Dodger fan to the core, I was also a fan, even though they were a competition, of the Cincinnati Big Red Machine of the day. I mean, how could you not love that team? Even though they were really our competition of the time. I mean, our rivalry was with the Giants, but the Giants weren't really a factor at this time in the 70s, but the Big Red Machine was, and you had, I mean, you know, you had Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, Dave Concepcion, Joe Morgan, Gosh, these guys were Tony Perez. I mean, wow. Anyway, the reason I said that is Bill was from there. So during that World Series, he brought me back actual newspapers, and I think I still have them somewhere, but I'm not sure, to be honest with you. We had so many moves since then. I had been keeping. I mean, I know they're not worth anything, and I'd never try to sell them, but I would like to, if I could ever find them again. Put them in frames because they were just great newspapers. Because they were Cincinnati newspapers. That's what Anyway. But I digress. See, here's the thing. I sometimes, well, not all the time, but sometimes I start a video with some sort of topic in mind, even though everything's non-scripted. Or unscripted, I guess would be the more proper way to put it. Something will enter my mind like that. I mean, I never thought that particular thought would jump in my head, but it did. And now Buddy Guy's playing. That's why I love this station. The point I started making early in the video and kind of lost it was... See, this is my second martini of the day, man. And there was a time when people would just come home, have a couple drinks, they'd have a couple fingers of bourbon, they'd have a couple martinis, and everybody would just relax, man. Everybody would feel better. So the fights and everything else started when everybody got into the fifth or sixth drinks, but those couple, if you could just stop at a couple martinis, man, it's better than a Xanax. You just feel good all over, man. Trust me. I know what I speak of. But America needs to relax, man. The whole country's acting like it's PMSing. It needs to have my doll and chill, man. Everybody gets your panties in a wad about silly things. Take her easy, man. Relax. Take it down a notch. Have a couple martinis. You'll start to feel pretty good. Trust me. I know of which I speak. I'm halfway into my second martini, and I don't want to cause anybody any harm. I'm thinking if we all did the same thing, the world would be a much better place. Where are you at, buddy guy? Buddy guy. What a damn radio voice for no particular reason. Where are you at? See, sometimes people think I do that because I'm trying to be obnoxious. Well, sometimes I do. So it's hard to walk that back. But sometimes it's my Tourette's. My Tourette's makes me say things multiple times. So once I realize I'm doing it, sometimes I will just run with it and then try to turn it into something else. Just so you know. I do get frustrated, though, sometimes when people say, well, Tourette's isn't really a real thing, Tom. Well, yes, it is, you moron. Some people are really that uneducated. But anyways, I'm going to have an hors d'oeuvre. That's what you have to love about a martini, too. It comes with 2 hors d'oeuvres if they serve them right. Sometimes a good bartender will give you 3. I just like to serve mine with 2 because I think 3 is overkill. But that's just me. Hey, if you like 3 martinis in your olive, 3 martinis in your olive. If you like 3 olives, see, maybe I've had enough, man. Tom, stop, man. If you like 3 olives in your martini, that's fine. I just like to. Anyway, yeah. That's what I'm proving my own point. Martini makes you giggly, makes you happy, makes you feel good all over. Now, if I were to venture into 4 or 5 martinis, that might go a different direction. But if everybody had 2, it's like pharmaceuticals, man. You take the recommended dose and you're okay. But if you go too far, see, people need to apply the same logic to alcohol, and you wouldn't need that Xanax. If you just had 2 martinis a night instead of a Xanax, you feel much better, and there's a whole lot less side effects. Oh, there are some side effects, don't get me wrong, but it's a whole lot less not pharmaceutical, I guarantee you. But I digress. So I'm going to eat my last hors d'oeuvre and bid you adieu. That one had been sitting in there a bit. Oh, mercy first. I didn't need that one from my first martini. Poured the second one in there, and boy, it soaked up some alcohol, man. I am Tom the Cocktail Whisperer. Cocktail Evangelist. Prolific cocktail drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all around good guy. You all have a good one.